Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw-Doering, and I am just running around late this morning because I didn't know what to talk about. And so I asked Jesus, what can I give the people today? Everybody's kind of scared. Everybody's kind of having a hard time. We're losing them. We got to keep them going. Whew, all this information. Okay, so we've got Jentel from yesterday. We've got Jentel from today. We're going to go through all of that. I still have to put my glasses on. Hang on a second. We got to get our banner up. There we go. Then I have some thoughts over coffee. All right. So let's do it. If you're late, scroll back, catch up. So let me go get the Jentel from yesterday because it was in pieces. There we go. I'm a little frazzled. That's because I've been running around with my head cut off, typing things down and sharing things and doing all kinds of stuff this morning. Meditation, everything. Okay. So yesterday, I had thoughts over coffee. Because what's happening is people are getting scared. We've got people from other groups, larger groups, watching, sharing the Jentel, things like that. Now, when everybody starts to get scared, they all come running to me. What do you got? Give me something. Like, okay. So thoughts over coffee yesterday is we received news that the other tiers, and these were my thoughts, the other tiers have had movement on our close, if not there for completion. We were told to watch for Iraq, to revalue, and that would trigger the other countries. Now the buzz is focused on movement in Iraq. It looks to me that something happened to move into 4B. And Iraq has to move to trigger the exchange of the other currencies. I'd say we're in a good place. It's kind of small. So I think we need to step up the font size because I'm getting like really blind. We're in a good place to see that trigger very soon. Because of NDAs and lids on information, we have very little leaking, but within the trickle of information, we have seen movement. Michael told us it would happen in the dark of night, and that once the RV starts, you cannot stop it. Now we watch for a street rate in Iraq, and that will trigger or unlock the bank screens and exchange screens. The bank screens will be higher than the street in country rate. The exchange screens will be higher than the back screens at the bank. Could they be waiting on political changes? That is possible. It looks like all the ducks are lining up in a row to move forward. Now we watch and see how this thing rolls out. And then we had Kash Patel telling us what the enemy is going to try to do in the USA. And I told you in Jentel, a few Jentels ago, that they would try to put one of their efforts would be, if they've got nothing else, is to try to put Kamala in office before the election because they have no way to win. Okay? Kash Patel came out and told you that's what they're going to try to do. So when that man talks, we really need to listen. The dark side is running out of options. The other tiers have money in accounts waiting for or all eyes are on Iraq for a new rate. Yellen was supposed to have cooperated and signed something to make that money held in accounts that bondholders and everyone, they can see their amounts, can't move it. Why? Because she had to sign something that makes it a behind the scenes legitimate currency in order for the banks to say, okay, we'll take some, we'll put it in this big account for you in fiat dollars until such time as the United States goes to gold, or we start our in country revalue exchange, and then we can use both for a while, and then eventually everything will be in notes. The accounts in notes, what is it? Held in accounts and legitimate legal tender. Things should really get turbulent with dark side tactics to stop it. All they can do is delay. It appears that the tables have turned and the white hats are playing offense while the black hats are playing defense. We are dealing with a ruthless enemy. So be on the lookout for terrorist type activity. Now, for the meditation yesterday, interdimensional meditation for 9/9/24, Archangel Michael spoke. There will be intel today about a desired destination to reach for rate change. Side note, this morning, Mark Z came out on a show talking about just that. I asked, in Iraq? Michael said yes, and other countries. The U.S. Treasury has agreed to help Iraq revalue its currency by reinstating an old condition that makes it possible. And if you really want the rundown and the explanation on that, go back and watch Real News Live with Mike and Jen on Rumble from yesterday with Mike Barra, because he did a good job in explaining why that makes sense. Because when I got the information, it didn't make sense to me. Okay. And so he said, yes, in other countries, the U.S. Treasury has agreed to help Iraq revalue its currency by reinstating an old condition that makes it possible. Mike Barra was saying, pull them out of bankruptcy or get into Chapter 8 so that they can do that. Now we've got news from Mark Z this morning. And Michael was talking about there will be intel today about a desired destination to reach for rate change, and Mark Z came out this morning talking about how they're pulling in dollars so that they can do this and that, and some kind of agreement with the Treasury. So we've got confirmation there. It's not in the same wording, but it fits. So after he talked about the old condition that makes it possible, I said, question mark? Like what? And he said, old rate, but altered to meet current economic conditions. Mike Barra came out and told you that that would be the old rate everybody's talking about, the old street rate in Iraq, but allows for inflation, so higher. Plus inflation would be higher. And so a question mark in my meditation again. I said, what? And Michael just said it's a missing piece needed for the transition. I said, okay. In the news from yesterday, we got, God, do I have the whole thing? Oh, I got it here. Okay. Markets. Okay, now. I don't know what Thursday. Okay. Well, come at me on Friday. Start bitching. All right. Just kidding. But I don't know what Thursday. But what he said was, and it'd be really cool if it was this Thursday, just for me personally. Markets crash at 9 a.m. Thursday. Then right after that, I heard gold standard. Then I said, show me something that's coming. And so then I saw this man standing on a beach looking towards the waves, looking towards the ocean. Something was coming in. Something's coming ashore. And the person stands to meet that. And Michael kept saying something about shipment. Right after that, we got information coming out in various places about Kamala Harris allowing in Haitians, I think it was 20,000 or something, and they're going to resettle them. So I don't know if that was referring to that, and I just didn't get it all. That is still a mystery. We'll have to see how that goes. Last bullet point I heard was micro markets, and we're all trying to figure out what that is. People keep giving me a definition for like a mini mart. I don't think it's that. What it felt like to me, if I can explain it, is little markets here and there, like commodities, things that we don't normally look at, where something is happening. All right. So what do we got for today? The Jentel will be posted after the show. Thank you, Sue Rose, for typing that up to me without notice. Now, what did I do with it? Hang on a second. I text myself all this stuff, so I'm going to have to put it all together on the show live, and hopefully it makes sense. So, Jentel for 9/10/24. Archangel Gabriel. The rate change in Iraq is agreed upon. The search for dollars is about paying the military to leave. I believe the country rate will be, and I try to get it, all right? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but $3.92 or higher for a street rate in country. It will be double or triple on the back screens at the bank. And if they believe that makes it possible to reach our possible $16 mark on exchange screens. Okay. Now, I was not expecting this. And usually, when I'm not expecting something, it's true. Because I didn't put it in his mouth. I didn't, override what he was saying and insert whatever I wanted to hear. The rate on the dong will change soon. Possible news on that overnight. Then I heard something like Venezuela goes dark. Looks like somebody cuts power. I mean, like black. Okay? I don't know how that fits into anything. That I was not thinking of either. I was all focused on the whole Iraq situation. Okay? But I did ask. Jesus, give me something. Hope these people keep going. Everybody's scared. Everybody's worried. We're losing them. We got to do something. That's what I got. Then, something that just kind of keeps popping into my perception, and it has for a couple months now. I keep hearing something about offshore drilling, about platforms, about oil, but I don't know why. And because every time I get that, it's usually in a bullet point for the coming in the news or what, but I don't know how that connects to everything that we're talking about right now. But when that comes in the middle of all these rate changes and talking about other countries and the financial part of it, it may be significant. I could be misinterpreting. that information, but keep it in the back of your mind, and we'll see what happens with that. Now, don't get too excited, all right? Possible movement in the RV tonight while everybody is watching the debate. Think about it. Who's going to be watching the debate more than us? The bad guys. Very important. There is a small possibility that she cancels. I haven't looked at the news for the last couple hours or anything like that. I haven't looked at a Telegram or anything like that, other than to say I'm going to be late and post my link. Small chance. She's been told she has to do this. So that's where we are today. Gave you guys lots of Jentel information. Let's see how I want to put this together. Okay. Now for new people, thank you for being with me. I appreciate that. I hope it helps you. I hope it strengthens your faith. Thoughts over coffee. It has never been God that tests you. It has always been from those who would like to lead you away from Him and keep you in the dark. That is where the tests come from. But it is God who strengthens you. And it is God who reminds you that these things are not true. It is God that gives you the hope to move forward. And it is God who sees when you pass that test and you don't break. And you don't give up on yourself and you don't give up on Him. So don't blame God for anything. That's not just faith, that is wisdom. And that is a wisdom that's not only channeled, but learned from being tested so many times. I remember when I started doing radio. Well, not the first radio station I was on, but the second. Good people. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody, but it was a really dark place. They were all into like horror and, paranormal and all kinds of stuff. I mean, and sometimes the other shows, did not match up with mine. Not a lot of people liked me over there. I don't even know why I was there. And one day, and what I would do as a partner and me, he would go in with Hemi-Sync technology. I would go in with my interdimensional meditation. We would ask questions. We would not compare our notes or give our answers until we were on the air, live. And we were sticklers about that. So it was pretty cool. And those answers matched up so closely. It was freaky. Okay. And then one day I was like, God, I get so much backlash from these other people doing shows, why have I been led to such a dark place? And what came was, I actually heard. It was either Jesus or God, because it was that kind of voice. What better place is there to shine some light? And so as we walk our journeys in life, we find ourselves in these dark places. And as much as we hate it, it is the tests and it is the opportunities to shine through that darkness that strengthens us and leads you to a place where you are become a force to be reckoned with. And you all have. It is the times in your life where you get to the place, and I just know the times in my life where I've gotten to a place where I was backed into a corner. And you got two choices when you're backed into a corner. You can either lay down and take it and die, or you come out swinging. I actually had a physical situation like that in my life. Husband, my first husband, a gambling prop, loved him with everything I got. I tried my hardest, man, but that guy had some problems. And he was very smart, very funny, very good man, but he was very controlling. And he had a gambling problem, and I was putting money away in Katie's room in the closet. I was saving for the girls, for their bicycles and whatever it was. So I had about $1,000 in the closet. And he saw it. He knew it was in there. So I moved it. I hid it in there somewhere, and he couldn't find it. So one day we got in a fight, and he was never physical, never touched me, but being controlling. Okay. So I went into Katie's room and locked the doors. 111-year-old house, cute as can be, Main Street Disneyland. We fixed it up. I went into Katie's room, 9-foot ceilings. It was just really nice and cute in there. Locked the door. So you can't get through this lock on this door. It's like old-fashioned lock. And he's pounding on the door. Where's the money, Jen? Where's the money, Jen? And I got the 2 babies in there. And I was actually sitting in the corner. No, they weren't there. They were at Grandma's. That's right. They were at Grandma's. Because he actually let the air out of my tires so I couldn't leave. God, we were really young. Okay. Anyway, so I'm in there, and I actually probably for the first time in my life started getting scared. I'm like, he's like pounding on the door. Where's the money, Jen? I'm like, this happening? Am I going to get hurt? I mean, what the hell's going on here? I mean, all right, I'm getting scared. And then I prayed, and I just said, big guy, 240, 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", something like that. So, you know me, 5'6", at the time, probably 140 pounds. I something like turbo from inside just boiled up in me. And it didn't come from here. It came from here. Right around here, man. And I was in that corner, and I was like, I got to get to my babies at Mama's house. I got to get out of here. I'm like, I could go through the window. I'm like, nah, he's too smart. He'll get me. He'll catch me. He'll get that money. So I opened up the freaking closet, and I took the money out. Like, I can get more money. I'll make more money. Flung that door open. Scared the shit out of that man. And I came running at him 100 miles an hour. I said, you want to fight? Let's go. Here's the money. You want to bully me? His face, because he never did anything like that before. I think he just, like, in his gambling addiction had gotten to a point where it escalated to that. And I was just like, his eyes were like, and I just kept running at him, and he kept backing up, and he actually just fell down on the carpet, and I threw the money at him. And I said, "You can let the air out of my car, my tires in my car, and you can try to bully me, and you could back me in the corner, but I'll go. I don't care what I have to do. I'll go running naked down the middle of the street, screaming, and I will make it back to my babies." Man never messed with me again. Never messed with me again. But I remember that, I'm sharing personal stuff, but I don't really care. Open book. So I remember that feeling. I remember being scared and in the corner and thinking, this is it. I'm going down. And something boiled up inside of me, and I came running at that big guy. I don't suggest doing this, okay? I also knew he wouldn't hurt me. A little bit. I kind of knew. But in that moment, I didn't care. I didn't care how big that monster was, and I didn't care how big that problem was. I had my reason to come running out of that corner, and it was those babies. Tell you what, don't you ever get in the middle of me and my babies. I'll rip your throat out with my bare hands. I'm just kidding. I probably don't think I can do that. But that's the feeling, and that's what I'm talking about right now. We have gotten to a place where a lot of you are sitting in that corner, and that enemy is pounding on that door. And that's an enemy you never thought would be pounding on that door. And what are you going to do? You're going to lay down and cry? You're going to blame everybody else in your life for the decision you made to bring that enemy to your door? I chose to be with that man. That's me. His choices, yeah, kind of screwed things up. But I chose to be with that man and put myself in that situation. But I also chose to come out swinging. And I always will. And that is where we are. And everything that came out of his voice at that time, that banging, that big presence, that problem that is so big, and little old me in the corner, what am I going to do? I couldn't possibly take this on. I couldn't possibly be that strong. Are you crazy? Don't go running at him. Well, yeah, probably a little bit crazy. Because it did. And all that within that voice, it's all the unspoken reasons. It's all the fears. It's all the lies that said you're going to get hurt. But this is going to be over if you stand up for yourself. If you choose to come running out of that corner with everything you got. That's where we are emotionally. But everything in his voice when I came running out of the corner was a lie. He would never have hurt me. And I saw that he wouldn't. Oh, shit, crap. I pushed it too far. That's what I saw when I came running out of the corner. Pushed it too far. But that big enemy backed up. This is where we need to be now. And it doesn't come from here. It comes from here. We have to stop listening to lies. We have to stop listening to fear. We have to stop disregarding what we know to be true and listen to those lies and let it keep us in that corner. The other story that is relevant now after many, many years, which is cool. I love it when that happens. But some of of you, my private students and clients from a long time, will have heard this, but it's review, and you'll see how cool it is that it matches up right now. Okay. In the beginning, when I was doing these meditations and I was widowed, I started doing them because somebody says, "Oh, you should meditate for stress. You're widowed, you got 2 kids, you never sit down. Why don't you take some time for you?" Okay, boring. I'll try. So anyway, I ended up going into meditation, and then the archangel is talking to me, God, Jesus, Blessed Mother. And one day, and they're teaching me all these things. And all along, I kept asking, well, why? I went to Jesus one day, and I said, well, different occasion, different meditation. I asked, why are you teaching me all these things? Why is this happening? Am I just having some, like, breakdown, some kind of, like, fantasy? Why? He said, because. And I said, why are the archangels with me? I know they're the true ones. Because I've told you not to send me anyone that would deceive me. Because I call them from here. And that's how I know. And because of their deeds and their answers and everything else, they have never failed to be divine. And I said, well, why? And he said, because you had a very special dream. And so you have a very special team. Like, okay. So later on, another meditation, I'm standing in the courtyard of supposedly my house. I think it's Gabriel's house, really. But they say it's my house. So I'm standing in this courtyard, and it's out behind the house. And it's kind of got this round section that's got the corbels, and it's all stone and everything. And it looks over this lower valley area field. And I was talking to Blessed Mother, and Gabriel was there. I can't remember what we were talking about, but I remember saying, again, why are you telling me these things? And, excuse me, try not to hiccup. And so she motioned out to the valley down below. And I look over and I see thousands of angels, all in white wings, white clothing. And I said, and they're all looking up at us. And I said, I don't understand. What are they looking at? And she said, they're waiting for the call. The call? From who? From you. Me? I don't even know what that would be. I mean, like, what do you mean? Like, why? I didn't understand it. But I stood up on the thing. I said something I don't remember, and they all just took off. Okay? And so that's always kind of sat in my mind, like, yeah, that was probably all made up, still bullshit. I mean, like, I don't even know what that meant. I don't even know what that meant. I was reminded of that today. And at the time, I had no idea this would lead, what I would do, where this would lead me. I was doing radio. I was, after that, I think it's you. I think those people, those angels down in the field, is this community. Because along the way, I'm like, okay, I have no idea how I've ended up here either. But here we are. Let's do it. It was definitely not intentional. But we have walked the journey together. And I have seen time and time again, and I talked to most of you personally, signs and words and energies of these, the waiting. So it must have been symbolic. They're waiting to hear something from you. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, maybe it was symbolic about where I would be, what position I would be in, It's more than that. Your spiritual journey and what led you to this place is more, and you know this right here. You know this. Don't listen to this. Don't go all crazy and quit your job and do all the stupid things you're not supposed to do. But I'm saying, don't listen to this. This powers this. This is nothing but a computer. It is nothing but a tool. It is nothing but a device that holds the memory. This tells it what to hold. Okay? This is where you create. This is what drives you. Your spirit within here, the solar plexus, the heart. Okay? Your spiritual journey and mine, it's not just about you. You're part of a lineage. I mean, you look at it. Like, one thing, my father, like, why am I here? I would not be here if it weren't for them. All along my life, I'm here now pulling these memories out of the famous one-liners, the lessons that were taught to me by my mother, my father, my grandfather, people all of a sudden who just say something that is a teaching moment. Okay? I'm one of those people for you right now. And if that's all the value I have in your life, fine. I think it's pretty good. If I can be that one liner you pull out when you're in that corner that makes you come rushing out of it, done. I'll be that. I will be that. But your lineage is very important, and those that will follow after you. And we're at a point in time in history where many of you want to go out and do very good things for those who will come after you and all of the other people you don't even know. Do you know how divine that is? That's a calling. They're waiting for the call. I mean, we're bombarded by fear and worry and doubt. And we have lived in that environment our entire lives. And the dark side, the governments, everybody uses it to control the masses. It's maddening to me, but it's true. They can only get to you in here. They can't get to you here. This is where the truth lies. All right, let this lead you. And call into God and Jesus to help you listen to this and not this, because they will put ideas and programming and everything else in your mind to let you know that that enemy out that's banging on that door is too big and you are too small. And that is not true for your life. My father, I'm pointing to a picture that Katie drew of him, so it's an awesome story with that, but my father, skinny dude, artistic man, funny guy, everybody loved him, life of the party, alcoholic, he, time is it? We're good. Yeah, we're good. He went to Vietnam, 60s. And he signed up to go into the military during that time, just to get away from his mother, pretty much. That's what the story I heard. But so he exceptional artist. Exceptional. He could draw pen and ink or paint, and he made it look like the fabrics and the shading and everything made it look so real, like you could just touch the velvet on that dress or whatever it was. So he entered a nationwide art contest in the military. 3 guys out of the entire country won, and Dad was one of them. And they said, "Congratulations, you've won the art contest." And he's thinking, "Oh, I'm going to go travel all around and be so great." And they said, "Congratulations, you're going to Vietnam. Here's your art supplies, a 45, a pistol, and we're going to put you in with this group of gentlemen called the Big Red One," which is basically like the Green Berets. Okay. Skinny little glasses, artistic, well, not little, 6 foot tall guy. Very little training, nothing but basic training, is going to Vietnam with the big boys. And it was his, because they didn't have all the film and all the computers and everything, it was his job to document for the Pentagon everything they did. So he was there. He saw the interrogations. He saw the killings. He had to stay alive within that. And I remember the story, which haunted him for his whole life, that he was trying to keep up with them. He's got his pistol on his hip and his backpack with his camera and all of his supplies, and he's crawling through the grass, and he looks up, and there's a Viet Cong that looks up at the same time, pretty close to him. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how far away from the story, but Dad drew his gun, shot the guy before he could shoot him. Guy's head exploded all over him. I said, "Oh my God, Dad." When he told that story, I said, "You must have been so brave. So brave." And he said, "Jen, I was scared shitless the whole time. I'm not that brave. But I had a reason to get back. And I didn't know what that reason was. And for some reason, by the grace of God, I was able to survive and get back here." And he goes, "And I think it was to have you and your sister and be here for your mom." He says, "And that's just the way life goes. Your enemy's going to stare you in the face, and you're going to be scared shitless. But all you got to do is act on that instinct that's inside of you and follow that pull that leads you towards that destination, and you don't know how, and you don't know why, and you don't know anything, but you know you got to get there, and you will get there." And I'll never forget that. Never. Now, we are involved in a war, and we are spectators in that war, but affected by it. In truth, we are. And if you feel like you're sitting in a corner and somebody's banging on that door, or if you're crawling through the grass and you can't see anything and you don't know where this is going, and some enemy is popping their face up, well, then you listen to this and not this, and you keep moving forward to that destination. And that's how you do it. You're not going to have all the answers ahead of time. You're not going to know exactly the outcome of anything, and you're not going to know exactly where you're going to end up. And it's going to be scary, and it's going to be hard. But it's worth it. Okay? Luckily, we have crawled through most of this grass, and we have felt all of that already. And I'm here to tell you today, probably forgot my everything that I've written down, but this is your call. What better place to shine than in a place where you've been surrounded by darkness? This is the time that you rise to the occasion and you stop holding back and you let go and be that divine person that you are. All right? It's time. And whether that is just within your own family, it's going to be a very personal thing, or it just pulls you out of the corner. It's time to shine. The time is now. Okay? They also told me there would be 3 calls. I don't know what number we're on. Pretty sure I've done this before. I'm getting a whole deja vu feeling about it. But it's time to shine. I'm in a corner. Well, I was. Well, I am, I guess. I know. If you guys knew what's going on with me, you wouldn't even believe that I'm sitting here talking to you. But I have been tested and I have been strengthened and I have come running out of the damn corner so many times. I'll be damned if I'm going to sit in it any longer or ever again. It's time for you angels and me to shine. And you just lean on God and you just lean on Jesus. And when you call to them and tell them from here that this is what I choose to do, that I choose to shine now, and I choose to blast any darkness out of my path and those that I love, and I'm not holding back anymore, and I'm not laying down anymore, and I'm not going to do any of that anymore. I'm not going to let all this fear and this bullshit hold me down. It's time. Okay? So I've got some things happening, okay? And if I'm here today putting out the call for the tomorrow's humanitarians, I don't know what's going on with the light. It's time. It is time. Be that person now. I've told you all along the way, there's a reason why we are the ones, and we are nothing but the ones who have go first. Why? Because your spirit is strong enough, and your love is strong enough to teach the ones that go after what to do and how to do it. So I don't want any more of this giving up. If you're watching this show, you found me for a reason. And it's not because I'm so great, because all kinds of faults over here, right? Sorry about that, Jesus, but there are. Okay? This calling's coming from here. And you don't deny that. So, we don't listen to fear anymore. All right? I love you all. I'm sure there was all kinds of other things, and not Jentel, but I think I got it all. It's time to go out and be that light in the world. It's time to do it now. And anybody that pops into a chat, emails you, or messages you, and if you're one of the people, stupid one, say I'm shining. I do that on purpose, freak people out. I'm just kidding. If you're one of the people who are trying to keep everyone going, I understand and I sympathize with you because I am trying, and that is why I'm here. Yeah, I make a living from the readings and stuff because I have to keep my family going. I understand. But if you're one that is diminishing that light when people start shining it, you take a real good look at yourself and why you're doing that. Because what we're going to do now, you're all just like a bunch of flies and mosquitoes. Because Jesus, God, they're leading the pack. Okay, we're walking right behind them. And we got bug spray and citronella candles like you would not believe, and all these flies and all these mosquitoes, they can't touch us. And we're going to keep walking on that path, and you can't stop it. So that's what we're going to do. So debate's coming tonight. I don't know what's going to happen there. It's important. It's an important scene in the movie. It's coming. Okay? It's coming. Your time is coming to be who you plan to be. And we're going to knock it out of the park. Okay? Love you all. Have a great day. Gotta go. Let's see. Gotta go. Where is that? Bye.